No boyfriend, 4 for 1 to the project. Lying young and street, made the pussy bring the black bitch. Standing in the kitchen, whipping nigga, catch your contact. Shot her from the round and made the plug, ayy. Ran up on my dog, don't catch a slug, ayy. Love my pistol, dog, and fit just like a glove. I ain't come up out the drug, they no fool me, was selling drugs.
We're going live in 5.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. I'm Delinquent. You're watching Delinquents After Hour Spot on Jess TV. We're here with my man James Wing, also known as Wize Guy. How you doing?
Hey, what up? I'm good, thank you.
So,
Okay.
bro, I've been following you for quite a while, like years now. And for people who are just discovering you and, you know, you coming out in the battle leagues and the rap, who is James Wing and who is Wize Guy? How would you explain that?
So, Wize Guy, I guess I invented when I started battle rapping, because as James Wing, I used to do massage therapy as a job, and I was a really big battle fan. And when I decided to get into it, I was like, I don't know if I want my massage clients finding my battles by accident. So then I didn't even spend much time thinking about a name. I don't know, I picked Wize Guy, and it ended up being a pretty fitting name, I guess, because like I wanted to do funny stuff. My favorite battle rappers to watch were always the funny guys like Pat Stay, and so you know, I think Wize Guy ended up being a pretty good name for a silly battle rapper.
Yeah. So I've been watching your battles lately, and like a lot of them are good, man. You got a lot of wins. You had some L's. What made you first want to get into rap and to pursue hip hop seriously?
So I did make music a little bit before I got into battle rap. It was right before I found battle rap, I guess, that I was started making rap music. I'd been playing guitar already for a few years at the time. This was in high school. I was a pretty big fan of Eminem, and so I started, you know, recording some rap songs. I started making beats a little bit, and I had a couple other friends that were getting into making beats, and I had a friend in my best high school friend, Nathan Culp. He's a really good beatboxer, and he would rap and freestyle as well. And we kind of made a band for ourselves. There's just 2 people, and we called ourselves Operation THC. And most of our songs were, you know, about smoking weed. And but then you know, I discovered battle rap through. There's a battle rapper named Miracle from Nova Scotia. It was staying in Camrose, Alberta for a little bit, because he was dating my friend's sister or something for a little bit. It was a long time ago, and I was shown a Miracle battle. I think the first battle I watched was Miracle versus Chris Tipsy on King of the Dot, and I was hooked. Miracle's fucking hilarious and super good writer, and I watched that, and then I had to watch all of Miracle's battles. You know, he was on the Elements League. He battled Pat Stay. So that was one of the first battles I watched as well. And when Miracle battled this guy named Mosh, and he was like, "You should quit Mosh, get lost. You're about as hip hop as Kid Rock with Slipknot, and doing doing the crip walk and flip flops." And I was like, "Holy shit! This battle rap shit is the fucking this is the way."
Wanted to get into it, eh?
I was a super fan for a little bit before this is like early King of the Dot era, before they had Ground Zero, right? And you know, I would watch all the Kid Twist battles and the, you know, Pat Stay and Bartone and Jack Shit and Holohan and all those guys that were, you know, on the King of the Dot back in the day. And when they started the Ground Zero channel, that's when I remembered thinking, I can't remember who it was that I watched on Ground Zero that was not very good, but I was making music at the time, and I was thinking like, oh, I could, now they're just letting anybody do this. Okay. Like, And then it's kind of funny when I when I first got into battle, like trying to get myself on Ground Zero or whatever. I didn't know how to hit up. I didn't know how to hit up Organic or who to hit up or whatever. And I knew that Organic's name was Travis Fleetwood, and I went on like a online phone book, and I looked up Fleetwood phone numbers, and I called a few Fleetwood phone numbers until I got a hold of Organic's mom.
That's how you got a hold of him.
I got a hold of Organic's mom, and he wasn't there when I talked to her. She's like, Travis doesn't live here anymore, but like, who is this? I'll get him to call you back. And it was like maybe a week later that he called me back, and he was. I was all excited. I was like, "Oh my god, it's Organic! I watch all your stuff." And then he's like, "Holohan is the guy in charge of getting new people started. You should email him or whatever." And so I emailed Holohan, and I started rapping at him in the email. This is bad. Don't do this. And I think he was like the king of the dot champ at the time or something, and I started rapping at him like, I'm gonna eat you for breakfast and take your necklace and all that stuff. And then he responded to the email being like, I will personally make sure you never get a chance to battle rap. He's like, I don't like your attitude, I don't like any of this. He's like, anyway, not long after that, Holohan was in jail or something for a while, and then me and Holohan were friends now. But at the time, things got passed over to Sketch Menace, I guess, for the Alberta Ground Zero thing. That was, they were letting new guys do it, and somebody told me to message Sketch Menace, and I did, and they were doing a Ground Zero event in Red Deer. Was the first time that I got booked for a battle against Loyalty. And I didn't even really think about what I was going to call myself until Sketch Menace asked me, like, what's your name, your rap name for the flyer?
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, oh, because I was just using the name James Wing up until that moment. And that's when I was like, oh, because I had just gotten out of like massage therapy college and started working as a massage therapist, and I was like, wait a second, maybe I should pick a name. And yeah, I don't know, then I picked Wize Guy, and my first battle was in Red Deer. And then it was weird too, because I tried confirming the length of the rounds, as you always do with your opponent or whatever. Yeah. And Loyalty never got back to me when I was asking, like, is 90 seconds okay? Is 90 seconds okay? And then the day of, I had written 90-second rounds, and then I showed up, and he had only written 60-second rounds. So they cut us off at 60 seconds. And unfortunately, all of my best material was, like, the closers of my rounds. So they I didn't get to spit half of my stuff, like the better half of my stuff.
Yeah.
And so that was a learning experience.
Okay. So who were some of your earliest musical influences growing up?
So when I learned to play guitar, I started around grade 7 or so playing guitar, and for years I was really into stuff like Jack Johnson and Neil Young and Sublime and stuff that I could learn how to play on the guitar, right? And Tenacious D was one of my favorite, Sublime especially. Blink-182.
You were more into rock at first.
Yeah, I was more into rock at first. Blink-182, and then when Eminem was fucking in his prime or whatever during Eminem show era kind of thing is when I started getting into rap more. And I was always still really into rock and punk rock stuff though too, and NoFX and Offspring and stuff. But then I started once I became a pretty big Eminem fan around high school, and so that I did record my first album in high school, and it was not rap at all. It was all just me singing and playing guitar.
Yeah.
And then towards the end of high school is when I started actually recording some rap stuff. And Walk Off the Earth is another band that I was really super fan of for a while, because on YouTube, especially like early YouTube era, like Walk Off the Earth had some really creative videos. They would do covers of number one songs and really popular radio songs, but they would do these amazing covers. Sorry, there's a random phone.
There you go.
Get
rid of it.
I'm like, I don't know what to push. I'm not gonna push anything.
Yeah, no, it's all good, bro. So, has being from Alberta shaped your sound, your mindset, or your grind as an artist?
I guess a little bit, but I did grow up in Ontario, and so kind of a mix between Ontario and Alberta. I was around 13 years old, I think, when my family moved to Alberta. So just after grade 9 or something like that. And I was really into skateboarding for most of my life, until a few years ago injured my ankle pretty badly. And so I feel like this skateboarding culture was a little bit of a influence as well into my style. And I guess Alberta, when I moved here, it seemed like it was a lot more country music, and I was never really big on the country music scene. I was really, excited when the battle rap stuff started, popping off in Alberta a bit for King of the Dot, Calgary, and when I started doing battling, that I had always been doing music, but like my music, I still did music a little bit on the side, but once I started battle rapping, I kind of always prioritized writing for battles because there's a deadline for those. And so the music kind of was like a put to the side for a good few years there, where I didn't get a lot of music done because I was just battling a lot. I think I did 12 battles in my first year of battling. They were booking me for pretty much everything that they were doing.
Who are some Alberta artists or battlers you think that deserve more attention?
I know Kripal from Edmonton is an amazing artist and rapper. He makes his beats, and he's one of the better rappers in Alberta for sure. And there's a few friends of mine in the Edmonton area that are pretty good artists and rappers. Trips also from Doom Squad. There's my friend Ilium that's coming up right now. J Reds. There's I work with producer Deezwax, who's also from Lethbridge, but he's in Edmonton now.
Yeah, Dustin. Yeah, I know Dustin very well.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, he's
and there's quite a few rapper friends I have now that are getting a lot better. Little Man, Poltergeist OD. Poltergeist OD is awesome.
So, do you study your opponents heavily, or do you focus more on sharpening your own material?
I don't study my opponents too heavily. I watch, I watch some of their battles. A lot of the time, I've already seen a good few of their battles before we get matched up. And so sometimes I don't have to do much homework. I kind of already have a lot of ideas.
Okay. What battle taught you the most about yourself as an artist? Like going into it.
Which battle?
Yeah, which battle taught you a lot about yourself?
Well, it's one comes to mind that unfortunately this battle isn't on YouTube anymore, but it will get re-uploaded. It's at some point. It's me versus Final Word, because Final Word, um, I didn't. I kind of had a little look online and I watched a bunch of his battles, and I didn't really I didn't know anything about Final Word. I was like, and so when you don't know anything about your opponent, it kind of forces you to be more creative and to think outside the box and think like, okay, I gotta bring something from within that's interesting, and that's when I decided I had this idea about I wanted to bring a Nerf gun to the battle in a picnic basket, and I wanted the build up to be so like building a lot of tension and curiosity with the picnic basket, and so I think that kind of the fact that I like Final Word, everyone uses his name and a bunch of gun bars, and I wanted to do something different. I'd never seen anyone bring out a Nerf gun, and so I had this whole scheme about. I was also watching at the time like a lot of videos about quantum mechanics, and I started doing this whole scheme about quantum mechanics and the Glock that I brought in the basket.
Yeah.
And that ended up being so fun when I actually did it. I pulled out the basket saying, "Oh, I got a gun in this basket," and then eventually pull out the Nerf gun and shoot Final Word with it. And then I was like, after I did that, I was like, this is a lot of fun. Like, I'm gonna find a way to kind of recreate something like this. And then in my last battle, I pulled out a water gun and I shot censored with a water gun. And I'm not saying I'm gonna bring a toy gun to every battle, but like, I've come to realize how much I enjoy using extra little props and stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Like finding a way to incorporate some kind of prop into the battle. Like, I don't know. I know some people don't like that, but I personally think it's really fun.
Yeah. Do you think battle rap has made you a better songwriter and performer?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Even though they're totally different things, like, performing, getting comfortable in a battle rap setting, performing has been really big for developing, my stage presence in general.
Yeah.
And the writing aspect, even though writing a battle is totally different than writing a song, writing battles and being so into battle rap for so long has really elevated my my technical writing skill, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell if you listen to the music that I did before battle rap, now it's everything is like the structure of the rhymes is like there's just a lot more going on with the multi rhymes and stuff like that.
Yeah,
sometimes I feel like I gotta break back out of that sometimes and make music where I'm not so concerned about all the multis being perfect, but like it's it's definitely, I think, improved my writing style. That it's not in like every aspect of music writing, but at least in the rhyming aspect for sure.
All right, bro. Hey, is my fucking screen frozen?
Yeah, I think it is.
I didn't know. I was like, what the fuck? Okay, what do you want people to feel when they hear a Wize Guy track? I know you just come out with some music not long ago, but...
So, I guess it depends on what the song is, because I have some songs that I want you, like that. I've got 2 new songs, Eat the Rich and Eat the Rich Part 2, Demon Mode, that I kind of want you to be mad at the government. I want you to hear the song and be like, yeah, we are getting fucked by the billionaires and the governments. And it's like, but I do have songs that also, have a more chill vibe, like Sunshine, where it's like, it's a very optimistic song. It's kind of rapping about all the stuff I'm grateful to have. And it's like a positive, reflecting song where it's like, hey, like things could be worse. I've got this going for me and that going for me, and I'm just gonna enjoy what I have, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so there's totally a big variety of emotions that my music can bring. I do have a song called "Never Leave" that I wrote for my girlfriend that is a pretty romantic song, and like it kind of makes you either appreciate your girlfriend or want a girlfriend. I don't know.
Is it hip hop?
It is kind of hip hop, yeah. It is. It's a rap song, but it's like got a very like soft instrumental,
So you do have a battle coming up. Have you? I know we can't talk too much about it, but are you prepared for this or?
So it's a couple months away, and so I'm not done writing yet. I usually write. I write stuff right up until about a week away from the battle, and then I take a few days to organize it a little better and tweak it and add stuff, and then give myself a good few days to practice and make sure it's all memorized properly and all that stuff. But I'm very excited for this battle that will be announced pretty soon. I'm not going to say who it is, but it's somebody who I've wanted to battle for a long time. Super funny, one of my personal favorites. He's from the West. He's been battling for a long time, not quite as long as me, but long time. And I'm super excited for that battle to get announced.
That's awesome, brother. What motivates you when the views, attention, or opportunities aren't coming as fast as you want?
Just like it. If I've got a bit more extra time between battles, that just to me that's just more time to work on music. I don't sit around waiting for stuff to happen. I make stuff happen. Like if I'm not getting called to battle or whatever, then I'm working on songs or working on trying to come up with ideas for videos or something that I could be, because I realize that's one thing that I'm lacking a little bit, is I don't have any proper music videos, and that's something that I'm gonna hopefully have soon, is a couple of music videos to push for a couple of my songs that I've got, because I've got a full album that I released last year, and I've got a few new songs that I just released on my YouTube. I'm trying to grow the YouTube, and so I've got a few songs that are just on YouTube and nowhere else. And yeah, I just like I know like as an independent artist, you kind of have to grind a lot on social media, and I recently figured out how to take highlights of my old battles and do like make a 30-second clip for TikTok and Insta, whatever else. And so I like trying to go back to my old stuff and find some of my best clips to share on TikTok or whatever, while there's a bit of downtime between new battles coming out or whatever. So I'm always trying to work on something.
What's one of the biggest sacrifices you've had to make to keep chasing your hip hop and the battle rap? What's something that you pretty much had to give up?
I mean, I've had to travel a lot for battles where I'm giving up like a weekend with my kid or something like that. My daughter's 15, and there's been a few times where I had to reschedule things with her, maybe because I had a performance or something like that. I haven't had to miss anything like big or whatever in my daughter's life, but any time that I'm traveling or putting into performing sometimes is time that normally I would be spending with her. So I do, I guess, sacrifice a little bit of that. There's I don't know. I feel like I've devoted just a lot of time and energy. Like I didn't really feel like a sacrifice though, because I love battle rap so much that it's like it doesn't. I just I it's a big part of my life, I guess. So.
All right. Well, you're here with Delinquent. We're watching Delinquents After Hours spot on Jess TV. We're sitting here with my man James Wing, also known as Wize Guy. How's it going, brother? You doing good, eh?
Yeah, I'm good, man.
My fucking screen's still frozen.
Yeah, your screen is just kind of looking at me.
Okay, that's creepy.
Yeah.
If you could battle any battle rapper, dead or alive, it doesn't matter, who would it be?
I mean, I always wanted to work my way up to guys like Pat, but you know,
Pat was a beast.
You know, Pat was always my favorite. I met Pat a few times, and he was amazing. And I still watch Pat State battles all the time. And
what was Pat like in person?
Man, he's so funny.
Was, eh?
Yeah, I remember. You know that shit that he does where he holds the fist out, and then when you go to fist bump him, he just knocks it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that to Soul when I was in Toronto at the start of our battle, and then afterwards when I met Pat, he holds out the fist for me, and I get all excited, and I'm like, go fist bump, and he fucking knocks it down, and I was like, I should have
known, eh?
I walked right into that. How did I not see that coming? And he laughed. He's
So I was listening to a few of your battle raps like over the past couple of days, just get in the mindset to do this interview with you. What's one of the coldest, sickest bars you've ever wrote that made you just stop and think, fuck, man, that's crazy?
I've had a bunch of stuff like that. One of my some of my favorite stuff. I wrote some good shit against Copacetic in that battle in Kelowna a couple of years ago, and one of the things that I said to Copacetic that I really liked was, remember that time you put Muhammad on a shirt? You should have sold some copies to some nerds. Then you could finally say you made a profit on your merch.
Yeah.
I was pretty proud of myself when I wrote that one. I was like,
yeah, I actually watched that battle last night. My girlfriend was out, so I was just watching your battles. She was at work, and I actually watched that battle with you and Copacetic, and it was dope.
Nice.
It was good, bro.
That's still one of my favorites. Yeah. My first round where I rhymed Copacetic for like 3 minutes, that was like I spent like a month on that one round.
Yeah, that's awesome, bro. What's next for you in music, battles, videos, projects, anything you can tease?
So I do have some more music that I'm working on with D's Wax. I think I'm gonna put out another album called Wize on Wax. The first album I almost called it Wize on Wax, but then I just ended up calling it Wize Guy. It was like a self-titled thing, and I just used my logo as the album art. But I think this next one, I'm kind of just still deciding if I want Eat the Rich to be its own like EP kind of thing, where it's just a few songs that are all on that fuck the government shit.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna collab with a lot more local artists. There's guys like Ilium and Define and Poltergeist, and there's Little Man and a few other Edmonton guys that I've been talking with for a while about doing songs with. Jay Winter. I live with Jay Winter now, and I'm working on a song with Jay Winter. And I'm just gonna put out another album that's got a lot more features on it, and collabs on it with more local guys.
Yeah.
And yeah, I also did start doing stand-up comedy recently at some open mics, and I'm working on more stand-up comedy material.
You actually went on stage and
I'm gonna keep working on stand-up comedy. I got more music coming. I'm gonna try and get some videos. I'm gonna keep doing battles. the battles, I don't do battles as often as I used to, but I'm gonna keep doing, maybe 2 battles a year kind of thing, and then that's a good pace to allow myself to do a lot of music at the same time.
Okay, good, bro, good. Who so people know, where are you originally from?
So I was actually born in Africa. My parents are Canadian, but they lived in Africa in Zambia for a couple of years. I was born in Zambia. I didn't grow up in Zambia. That's just a fun fact. I was born in Zambia, and then my parents brought me back to Ontario. I grew up in a small town called Westport, Ontario. It's like 700 people. It's like super small. It's a nice little place. It's not that far from like Ottawa, Kingston, shit like that. So I grew up in this super small town in Ontario, and then when I moved to Alberta, I lived in Camrose for a few years. When I was in high school, and then about a year after high school is when I moved to Edmonton, and I've been in Edmonton since.
Oh, cool.
I'm 35 now, so I've been in Edmonton like 15 years.
Oh, cool, bro. What's the main thing you want your supporters to take away from your journey right now?
Just I think that we all should be a little bit more upset at the government. The government's fucking us, and we're not doing much about it. But I really don't like politics stuff. But ever since they came out with the Epstein files, it's like, there should be we should be a little bit more not okay with the elites being fucking child traffickers and all this stuff. But on a smaller scale, I feel like I try to keep a pretty optimistic, grateful attitude. I think that, and the more that you put out, the energy that you put out there is what you get back, and if the more that you appreciate what you have, the more that you get connected with things to be appreciated. I want my music to be kind of just a vessel of expression of how I approach life, and I feel like I want my music to make some kind of positive impact somehow. I want to, at some point, I want the music to reach more people, and to inspire people to make the kind of music that they love. And when you're making art, you do it kind of for yourself, because I've accepted the fact that I might never reach a level in the music industry, or that I'll be able to say, oh look, I made all this stuff off music. But if I make music that's meaningful to me, then I can be happy at the end of the day, whether the music succeeds or not. It's like, and I like to see artists that just really enjoy making music that they love, and that if other people love it, that's awesome, but you gotta make music that you love first.
Well, I watched one of your battles the other day, and it almost had a couple 100,000 views.
The Uno Lavos one's getting up there.
Uno Lavos. Yeah, I think it was Uno Lavos.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy. He does stand-up comedy too, actually.
Is he funny?
He's so funny, man. I haven't seen a lot of his stand-up, but I know that he's been doing it, and I know that he's funny as fuck, so I'm sure he's crushing it. Am I allowed to swear?
What's that?
I'm like, should I be trying not to swear? I never thought of it.
Oh no, it's okay. You can drop enough bomb here and there. Before we wrap up the interview, where can people follow you, stream your music, and keep up with everything you got coming out?
So if you search Wize Guy with a Z on YouTube, you'll find I've battled on pretty much every smaller Canadian league, other than King of the Dot. Those are the big boys, and then there's Set the Bar, Beast Mode, BVB, there was Freezer Burnt. Now it's Insult to Injury, Capital Rap Battles, all these other leagues that are basically the same thing as King of the Dot, just on a, with a smaller audience. And so if you haven't seen all my battles, that's where you'd find them. Is just you search Wize Guy versus on YouTube, and over the past few years, it's been a while since I've done any King of the Dot stuff. I think A Class was my last King of the Dot Ground Zero battle, and I've done tons since then on smaller leagues that you might not have heard of. So if you just haven't heard of them, you might have to just look for them, But then also on YouTube, you'd find Wize Guy, my own channel where I've got some music. I've got my full album on Spotify. If you just search for Wize Guy. I have a Twitter, and I don't even remember what it is, honestly. I never use Twitter, X, or whatever. If I'm on Facebook, there's a Wize Guy page on Facebook, but I also use James Wing.
Yeah.
And then Instagram, my Instagram got screwed up, and I had to make a new one recently. So if you use Instagram, it's the Wisest Guy Rappin', but you spell it with a Z, like. And then TikTok, I'm on TikTok a little bit too. I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff at the wall. I try to. I'm probably on Facebook more than anything, but I do try to post stuff on TikTok and Insta, trying to grow my shit a little bit.
All right. Okay, brother. Well, man, this is Delinquent, and we were here with my man James Wing, aka Wize Guy. Wize Guy, man, thanks for joining us tonight, man.
Yo, thank you so much for having me, bro.
Absolutely, brother, man. Like, I just, I've been listening. I support Alberta rappers, and I always thought you had some skill. So.
Thank you, man.
All right, James, you take care of yourself, brother. Can you do me a favor?
Dope boy, Fred, just like Juice Jane 3-6. Lying young screens, I've been turned up with the demons.